All right, we are reading more Attack on Titan. The last one ended on quite a definitive note, a note of resolution, a note of perhaps hope. That after so much complexity, after so many factions against factions, betrayals on top of betrayals, hidden plans concealed within other hidden plans, we have quite a clear cut division now. We have Eren, who is trying to bring about the end of the world, and we have a ragtag group of heroes throughout the series, some formerly villains, some who hated and tried to kill one another, who have now decided to unite and save the world, to put it in Connie's terms, as I look here at the end of chapter 126. Now we're moving into 127. On this note of resolution, what will they be able to do though? Because like Eren doesn't really corporeal exist in this realm. He's in the space of all interconnected children of Ymir, where he's hanging out with Ymir herself, and he's tasked the Wall Titans to just go and trample the entire world. What can they possibly do? and moreover, like, what can they do that warrants this kind of like team up? Yeah, we're gonna do it, right? Like, I don't know. What is the plan? I feel like there must be some plan, but I have God knows what it could be. Okay, this is called The Night When It Ended. And here we see our city internal policeman, Jean, thinking about the life he could have lived. He asked for an apartment in the best part of the central city, of course. All day I would indulge in drinking top quality alcohol. No one could reproach me. My wife, my children, all the way down to my grandchildren could enjoy happy, privileged lives. Isn't that right? We deserve it after all. It's thanks to us putting our lives on the line that this island even has a future. So just ignore their calls. This is all hypothetical, of course. There's no place left on Paradise Island that looks anything like that. This is provided by Good Sir Scanlations. I think we were using a different group before, but this seems fine. All right, so Jean has decided to shut everything off, going full last few episodes of Evangelion's Shinji mode, beset by his former commander to please come out and help. But what all can he do, really? Jean is just some guy. They just want him because they know at this point that he's been through enough to be loyal. That he's not. There's no one really left to betray others to. So anyone who kind of has a grasp on the plot of this whole situation and knows Eren and knows the others involved, it's probably going to be quite a useful resource. In the end, though, he is just one guy. If you sit still, you can still get to live the best part of Central. Just sit still. So he's basically thinking, I've done enough. That if everything goes well, I should be handsomely rewarded for my contributions in this world-saving effort until now. If I make any more contributions, it's not like they're going to reward me even further. I'm already going to get the best possible treatment. Plus, I could just die. And if things don't go well, if they don't save the world, then what's the point anyways? It's there's a certain pragmatic logic to this that is hard to deny. Okay, but he comes anyways. It's kind of an update from the situation from Mikasa. Sarah wasn't there, but you all did well under difficult circumstances. He's not unharmed, but he's alive. Yeah, not unharmed is putting it lightly. Most of him exploded. Out of commission for a while. Cooperating with the Cart Titan, some of the surviving Marleyan soldiers. So we can try to stop Eren. It's wrong of him to kill everyone. We gather people to work with us. So this is kind of the planning behind the scenes. Near the end of the last chapter, everyone was starting to come together. Sometimes it seemed like miraculous coincidence. Sometimes it seemed like obviously there is something going on behind the scenes. But now we're learning the full extent to which Hagne, I can never pronounce her name properly, Hagne, was secretly coordinating everything. If you guys and the 9 Titans aren't on our side, we won't be able to do much at all. As the survey courts, as we know them, are no more. So I'm not sure even your superior officer anymore. Don't even have to listen to me. Fair. Mikasa's in. Don't want to allow Karen to keep indiscriminately killing people like this. Even if he did what he did to protect us and the people on this island, I still want to stop him. If you were able to stop Eren, what's the plan after that? Keeps the power of the founder Titan. His remaining lifespan is only about 4 years. What will happen to this island after that? Ooh. I mean, that's a good point. At this point, they've already done so much that Paradise Island is omega condemned in the eyes of the world. Everything people had been whispering about the Devils of Paradise has basically been confirmed twice over with Eren's surprise attack on the motherland and reports coming out of the mobilization of the Wall Titans and stuff. So even if they were able to subdue everything, it does seem likely that a counterattack would follow. That the plan that Once His Face had, you know, the rich family with the Warhammer Titan, they had some snooty last name, that his plan on rousing everybody into war with Paradise Island basically will end up going forward. So, yeah, this is a very good question, and one that I really hadn't considered much at all. Marley's viewpoint, as soon as they tried to lay hands on this island with a surprise attack, they got hit with the rumble. Don't think they'll try to hit the island again for at least for a while. Right. Oh, Willie Tibber. The Tibber family, yeah. Right. So I wonder if it's like so there's this translation note that Gene says Billy Tibber. His name is supposed to be Willie Tibber. But could it be that like Gene doesn't know his name or he forgot or something? Or could it just be a typo? Because wi and bi in Japanese are kind of similar. Like, I think it's just an addition of the vocal thing. Anyways, assume they'll postpone such an attack. Try looking for other options before and couldn't find a single solution. It's exactly why Eren decided to destroy the world. Genocide is wrong. No reasoning in the world can make it right. True. Very, very true. What you said is true. Inability to find strong enough arguments to do otherwise. I'm barking these things at you now, I tried to run away, almost threw it all away to try to forget and move on. I still am the 14th captain of the Survey Corps. Offered my heart for the sake of humanity's freedom. I feel like my fallen comrades are watching me now. Ooh, I love this. It's so subtle, because like you read this first speech bubble, kind of scan over the art, you're like, who are these people? Why are there all these people standing in behind them now? It's just them alone in a house. And then when she says kind of like almost nonchalantly, I feel like my fallen comrades are watching me now. You know? Like, and then the gravity of the identity of all these people. Most of them died without even knowing there were other people outside the walls. Yeah, that's pretty haunting. That's I think in any situation where you think of a large group of dead people, of people that have been lost in some sort of tragedy, and you conceptualize them both as like the large mass, such that you see the number of them, but then simultaneously you begin to make out the individuality of each of them. You look them in the face, you recognize their humanity, their individuality, their uniqueness, that life that they were living out on their own. It hits really hard. It starts to actually have the proper weight of that amount of death. This is an exercise. Yeah, this is good. I really like the way that built up. And here in the front and center, we can see his name just completely dropped out of my brain. You know, the former commander. Well, he's there. The fact that I forgot his name is perhaps a all too real example of how death often brings anonymity. It turns people into statistics, into just a number among numbers. But Erwin, he has a name. The Commander Erwin has a name. I knew it would come to me eventually, because it was like right there as I started the sentence, and then it just like, boop, it was gone. That is Erwin, right? Has his name remained while his face has been distorted? I think that's what he looked like. Oh gosh. I'm certain not a single one of them would have supported such a thing. If we want to stop this genocide, we have to act now. Commander Hange, I'm still in the Survey Corps too. Indicating that it's Jean who said this. Yeah, he probably said ore. All right, and this brings us to the present. I like that. Through Jean, we got kind of an exemplar of all of the debate around this, of the potential hesitation among many. I like that the cart titan is still titanized. It lends a real strange surreality to this scene that otherwise is kind of so humble, so befitting of any manga, of any kind of story in this kind of era. And yet, the fact that there's a gigantic, weird-looking human thing in the top left corner, you know, it's Attack on Titan. Yeah, so this is our party. This is our Save the World troops. Definitely a mixed bunch. Definitely drawn from all over. Formerly the strongest one there is now lying mummified on a cart. Speaking of carts, the only Titan they have access to... Oh, they have the Colossal Titan too, because Armin is here. Okay, well, they got some Titans. And yeah, they have... Yeah, okay. Nobody else wants to make food. Made you people change your mind. Left Eren Yeager alone when you got what you wanted. Vote for that. Han helped him. Never intended to turn this into a genocide. Sneaking into the forest and making stew. Finally realized what is justice. Alright, so we're finally confronting this. There's been so many, like, battles between the Marleyans and the Devils of Paradise Island. The Eldians, of course, and the mainland as well, suffering under their foot. But it's never really gotten to the point where people who actually are in a position of, like, knowledge, who've really gone through this, get to yell at each other. Like, I don't know. This feels kind of unprecedented. To be like, we who had to live off the Titans that you sent to kill us. Who has been in the position to make that accusation before? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's happened. But this still feels quite heavy. There's something quite impactful happening to have these characters have this discussion at such a climactic moment. The reason we fought so hard is because we didn't want to be killed and eaten by the Titans. Saying that's an evil thing to do, old bastard? People do seem like devils. Paradise Island threat theory has now become a reality. So that was the theory of Willie Tibber. It's a result of your struggle to survive, am I wrong? But it's still just a struggle to survive. This guy's not making a very strong argument. People had destroyed the wall and killed his mother in front of his very eyes. Eren probably never would have done this to begin with. Until the Rumble, you were the ones cornering us. You realized the Eldians were the first to oppress and crush the Marleyans under their feet. But is that relevant? Is that anything that's 2,000 years ago? I think the nonsense from 2,000 years ago is actually accepted as historical truth? Yeah, all this 2,000 years ago stuff, it doesn't hold much weight to me. Given that the positions have fully inverted within that time. I'm not trying to, I hear the same kind of lines of arguing around real historical issues in real life, right? You know, I didn't enslave anybody. My great-great-great-great-grandfather might have enslaved somebody or whatever. But, like, it's different because the hierarchical positions of society still remain the same, even if they've been lessened. There's still a division. There's still huge disparities because of the ramifications of those past atrocities, right? Whereas here, it's a total inversion. Like, it's that there's no argument that the long-term effects of the Aldeans crushing the Marleyans are still in play when the Marleyans are crushing the Eldians. If it was that the Eldians were still in charge, but just less so, then yeah, talk about things that happened 2,000 years ago all the time. Keep bringing it up. Make sure you understand the traumatic sources of the injustice in society now. But it's like the opposite is now happening. Like, I don't know. Let's just move on. It's not a conversation worth getting into. But I just wanted to make clear, like, when I say something like I agree with Hogne that it's not worth talking about that 2,000 years ago incident, it's because clearly all of the effects of that incident have stopped, which is not something that typically happens with incidents in real life. Okay. General is perplexed by our existence. We, whom he seems as devils, she like weeds by the world, and still we're throwing away the chance for heaven just to save it. It's hard for him to fathom. In the outside world for several months, cannot return to being those ignorant devils of the island. Yeah, why do they really need him? What does he contribute? Oh, can we kill Eren? I thought Annie was just like, yeah, I'm sick of this guy. I mean, Annie was loyal to the Marleyans for a while, and she did her mission well, but I could see her getting pretty pissed off at this point and just being like, can't take it anymore. Can we kill Eren? Killing Eren isn't the only way to stop it. They just want to talk to him, but how are they going to do that? How are they going to do any of this? I still don't get it. Even if you think talking to him is possible, right? Like, okay, that doesn't stop them massacring people, then what? Shouldn't we think of what to do as a last resort? Newest Marleyans who have a homeland to protect would try to kill Eren. So you join forces with us so you can protect him. Oh. That makes sense. But like, how are the Marleyans gonna kill Eren anyways? Still don't get it. You can't even come up with something that's more important to you in this world than Eren. Excuse me. And is this because of the Ackerman programming? We don't really know. Like, I still don't really get what was going on there. Was that a lie, a double lie, a bluff, a super bluff, an inverse omega run back bluff? Ooh, boy. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I like all these reaction shots, and then Levy is just like asleep. He's just not here for any of this. I understand how you feel. I feel the same. The only reason I want to stop Eren is so my father and Marley, my father who's back in Marley won't be killed. So I'll help you. Till that time comes, there's no need for us to fight. All right, the stew's ready. This is kind of nice. We had all of these tensions. We had all of these characters at odds with one another. But now I think they'll come together, they'll eat their food, they'll eat the soup, and maybe things will be a little more okay. I like that. I like things that talk about the healing power of food, the benefit of sitting down and having a meal with someone. Because I think it's legit. I think you really can bond in these sorts of situations. It taps into something very deeply ancestral that, you know, some of the earliest bonding we've had as a species was likely over food. You let the horses rest. Take us at least 5 hours to get to the port. Need help from the Azumabito, the pseudo-Japanese faction. We've got a flying vehicle there. You're supposed to observe the Rumble experiment. Get close to the Founder Titan. So, the Founder Titan is the crazy skeletal thing extending way, way up into the stratosphere. Their plan, I guess, is just to fly up to it and be like, "Where's Aaron? Aaron, come up!" But like, he's not really there. He's in crazy end of Evangelion desert, right? Like, what? Problem is we don't know where the Founder Titan is. Just fly around blindly, we'll run the field pretty quickly. So maybe snatch her as well. Yelna. What will she contribute? Where's Jaeger headed to first? Very little about the continent. I'm sure you taught him a great deal about it. And the route of the Rumble in advance. Should be able to give us an educated guess. Bastard. Asking why on earth I would cooperate with an asshole from Marley. But we're already in the eating part. We're already eating though. It should be fine. She wants to die for nothing. Fight alongside the Marleyans to save your homeland. Don't do anything, it'll be crushed to dust. Don't you care about that? She doesn't care, does she? She herself is an asshole from Marley. Oh. Quite surprised by what we discovered. Born into a completely ordinary Marleyan family, pretended to be from a small country that was annexed by Marley ever since she first met Zeke. Oh, interesting. So is that out of sympathy for these hypothetical people that she could be? That she was saying, you know, I wasn't. I was actually in Marleyan privilege, but I easily could have been. Born in this country and forced to live under Marleyan tyranny? Disappointed in Marley, so you made up a story for yourself. I see. Story of wonder with a prince who would save the world. Submerge himself in that lie and wish to make a mark on human history. Such greed, I truly admire it. I do really, I think her character is quite powerful, right? Like, almost everyone else has some sort of like actual strength in some capacity, or they have strong people behind them, or, you know, they can just friggin' turn into a Titan. But Elena, like, it was just scheming. It was all just interpersonal workings and coming up with plans and convincing people to trust in her that got her where she is. A position of major influence over the history of these last years. Trying to add, unlike me, aren't you? Unlike me insofar as the Cart Titan never sought such glory, I see. Let's save the world. There are no sweeter words to attract people to your side, are there? So that's, of course, the kind of reasoning she used to build allies before. That we are the ones who will save the world from the evil Marleyan Empire. And now those exact same words being said back to her. Let's stop Aaron. Let's save the world. Our chests quiver with excitement at the prospect of saving millions of lives. Let us swallow the grudges of the past and move forward. That is how you all seem to me right now. Let's try and remember, shall we? Ooh. This is interesting. We're going to get the breakdown. Reiner, how many Eldians were killed and eaten by pure Titans because of the hole you opened in the wall? And you infiltrated the walls and experienced all sorts of happiness and pain with these friends of yours who are sitting here. Then you betrayed them, tried to kill them. And now you try to pretend to be their friend again. Annie Leonhardt. I'm sure you've had your share of killing soldiers from the Survey Corps. And then, when you had the chance, you crushed and killed many civilians in the Trust District as well. Yeah, it all happened. Of course, not to mention that you people of the island bravely ventured into the Marleyan nation. Ryu, who's usually such a sensible person, made quite the show of destroying the Marleyan army's port armament. Yeah, that's true. He trampled it. Everyone aware that the power is stole from Bertolt. The result was a mound of bodies to show for your effort. Many of them were civilians too. It's like in the aftermath of that entire battle and of all of the atrocities committed by both sides, and you know, Aaron's scheme and the we kind of ignored that. I kind of overlooked that. That Armin 2 left a huge wake of destruction. And it kind of seems like Armin had been trying to forget that as well. But the story had kind of glossed over it until this point, where, of course, Elena, who specializes in such things, needles him. Did not have the pleasure of seeing him myself. Fighting a valiant battle in Libero as well. Despite being greatly outnumbered, you annihilated the Marleyan soldiers, painted the city in their blood, especially Eugene. Took sharp aim with the Thunder Spear at young Falco here, and took the shot just so you could hit the Card Titan. Yeah, that happened. He tried to kill Falco. Sasha was shot and killed by Gabby. She's a really good girl, wasn't she? And I was saddened by her death. Who can stop this? Not even the stew could stop this. The stew is overpowered by Elena. She must not have been eating any. The stew is supposed to heal all. This is intense. This is really intense. And it's nice too as a summary. I think this is a very elegantly integrated summary of kind of all of the tensions between these characters, which are so complicatedly interwoven that I'm sure I would be forgiven for saying that some of these details I forgot. Like Jean trying to kill Falco, I forgot about that. Like when Elena said it, I remember that now. But again, just all these points of tension. Some of them that aren't even said, like Connie not that long ago was trying to get people eaten, and stew is delicious, Commander Honke. Thank you, Yelena. You taking inventory of all the times we've hurt each other, it helps us put our feelings in order. Even though you yourself saw your own dream become meaningless. You know, the dream you were so desperate to materialize that you blew your own precious friend's head away. Yet you're still so considerate of others' feelings. Oh, now they're gonna start giving it back to her. That close friend of yours, you told me about him before. Marco. Said Annie had something to do with him dying. Oh, geez. All the way back to when they were kids. All the way back to their first days on the island. How does Yelena even know about that? She just wheedled this information out of people over the years, I suppose. But to try to drive a wedge between Reiner and Annie, who are like the longest running comrades of this entire group, who have been fighting together and struggling together longer than even Mikasa and Armin have been, to try to drive a wedge between them. That could be the fatal blow to this cohesion. Have you asked her yet about how he really died? Took away Marco's 3D gear. That's why he got eaten by a Titan. And he was just obeying orders, my orders. All right. Okay. This is how Marco died. All these truths finally coming out explicitly. Even if we could have inferred all of this, now everyone knows. Now not only everyone knows, but everyone knows that everyone else knows. When you alone privately know a secret like this, you have at least the option to pretend you didn't hear it, to try to ignore it for the sake of group unity. But when everyone knows what happened to Marco, then something might have to be done. So Marco couldn't escape from the roof, got eaten by a Titan that came from behind him. Did Marco say anything before he died? He said, "We haven't even talked about it yet." We still haven't talked about it properly. So it's gotten this bad with us killing each other like this. If you try talking it over first. If you try talking it over first. This seems prescient. This seems like kind of a dually layered meaning, because the same can be said for this mission against Eren. I haven't really talked to him about it yet, this whole genocide thing. Maybe there's some hope to be found. Lately, it's been like the theme is breaking a cycle of violence. And the way you do that is through communication, through recognizing the humanity in one another. And choosing to say, no, like, not today. I will not fight you today. I will instead hear what you have to say. It's not too late. I mean, look at us now. We were better enemies. And now we're trying to talk to each other without trying to strangle each other. We're close. They're close to not strangling each other, but I don't know. I still feel like a strangle might happen. Excuse me. Who would have thought that we would sit around a fire like this sharing a meal? While I was watching Marco being eaten, I kept thinking, why is Marco being eaten by a Titan? And I let my anger take hold of me. I killed that Titan thinking, you Titan bastard, you killed Marco. Yeah, it's painful that he's the culprit and yet he acts in revenge. Oh, jeez. Well, it's not strangulation. But for some reason, it's Reiner saying, I'm sorry. For some reason, Reiner saying, I'm sorry, is what sets Jean over the edge. He almost knocks, he does knock over the stew. That was supposed to be the stew that does it, that saves them. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Gabby jumps in the way. Takes a solid kick from him. You're hoping that all of you on the island would die. You thought that that way the world would accept us, forgive us. So we kept hoping that all the devils of this island would just disappear. It's the first time that Gabby's really spoken during this whole session, this whole airing of grievances. And I feel like she's trying to say something that maybe the other Marleyans were afraid to say. That is, people from the country of Marley. Of course, she's also an Eldian. That, you know, they thought it's not really a justifiable reason, but they did have a reason to do what they did. They thought this was their route to forgiveness, to living a peaceful existence. If they would all just disappear. Now my mom and dad and all the people in my barrow are going to disappear instead. I'm sorry. I know it's a terrible thing to ask of you, but we need your help. Please, we need your strength. Help us. Jeez. Man, this is a brutal series. This kid doubling over, gasping for breath, holding her ribs, which for all I know are cracked, begging them, help me save my family. Falco getting involved too, the children begging. And don't you want another serving? Jean heads off into the woods. I guess he's not going to cooperate after all. Man, this is quite the chapter. Just this kind of one long conversation that Levi was sleeping through pretty much all of it. Keep it down. Eesh, jeez. It's time to go. Of course. All right. So Jean leaves for the night. He has himself a little cry. But in the morning, he's back on the team. Save the world team. Sorry I kicked you. Reiner, I'm not apologizing to you, though. I'll not forgive you. Will Annie be forgiven? Cart Titan. Looks like something's wrong. She de-Titanifies for the first time in a long, long time, I think. The port. What is up with Miss Pyuk? What happened to the port? You know, it would make sense if Eren really didn't want to be stopped, which of course he doesn't. He wants to just flatten the whole Earth. That before he starts going off to rumble other countries, he would steer just a couple Titans over to the port and squish it, right? That seems totally reasonable. In fact, I feel like our lovely band of heroes here was kind of naive to think that he wouldn't do that. I assume that's what's going on. Oh, even worse. Ooh, this is going to be rough. I thought he would just crush it. But I guess, you know, he wants Paradise Island to be prosperous after all this is said and done. He doesn't want to just have them in some sort of anarcho-primitivist, perpetual caveman life. He wants them to enjoy the bounties of the world and the luxuries of the modern age. So he leaves it, okay. But the Jaegerists have taken over. Makes sense. Many soldiers waiting at the ready, equipped with anti-Titan weapons. So these are the people that are like, let's friggin' go, Eren. Crush the whole world. Paradise Island for life. Okay. So we got another human-on-human conflict coming. This is going to be rough. Probably people among this group that they know, that they've had past relations with. And they're not really equipped to do this. They're vastly outnumbered. There's anti-Titan weapons. The only thing that I could think would work is Armin giving them a grim reminder, going full Colossal Titan and just plowing through them. But I don't think they want that much violence. They anticipated our move to stop the rumble, and here we see the ambassador lady from Murozaki, or whatever it's called. Murozaki sounds right, something like that. Being held captive by the leader of the Jaegerists. Okay. Humanity's time is running out, and more will get hurt. What a fun time we're having reading this series. Let's look forward to, probably tomorrow I'll have up the next video with the next chapter. So look forward to that. Yeah, this is brutal. Hey, but at least we get some fan service on the cover. Ooh-wee. Okay. That's clearly all that I have to say. Bye-bye.